Here is the formula for unlocking more sales for your online coaching business. Correct management plus optimize business infrastructure. Okay. So the correct management of your systems, of your sales, plus for optimization of your business's infrastructure. I could go into both of these points in this business, I could go into both of these points in this video, but then this video would be like an hour long. And let's be honest, you don't really have the time to be watching all of that right now. So today, I'm going to mainly cover management. I'm going to cover the management point of view, and then in the next video I post, I'm going to be going over how you can actually optimize your business infrastructure as well. Okay, so I'm going to be taking off both of these things, but right now it's mainly about management. And management is a key aspect of business in which I see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of solopreneurs, or whatever you want to call them, a lot of online coaches failing. In order for you to have a successful team, you need A-star players in your team, okay? You need superstars ready to take your business to that next level. A lot of business owners I see nowadays is that they're trying to manage every single aspect of their business, from the sales, from the lead generation, from the marketing, okay? They're at the sort of point where they're trying to do all of these things where they don't have the real time to A, focus on the management, or B, they don't really have the time to actually focus on the true aspect that they've become a business owner. They're becoming a slave to their business and they have no leverage. In order for you to be a successful business owner, you need to acquire leverage. And management is one of these things where it needs to be leveraged to the point where no matter what, you can see success, okay? In all honesty, you as a business owner shouldn't really be having to focus on the management. You need to have a superstar, an A player, to manage these other aspects for you so that you can truly focus on the service delivery, be in the face of a business, focus on everything like the content, and know that all of the back end systems, like the management, like the sales, are being managed by other superstars, other competent businesses, or other competent people who can do this to perfection for you. But obviously, I know right now that the majority of the people watching this video are the business owners or the online coaches who are doing all of the management for themselves, okay? And if you're not doing any management for yourself, if you don't have a team, that's your first issue, okay? You need a team. You need a team full of talent, everything from closers, sales reps, SDRs, that's the same thing, triages, whatever, okay? You need all of these in your business to make sure that you can actually do a good job, as you're not going to be able to scale a business above the 20K per month mark if your management systems aren't put in place. If you're the person who's in charge of the sales, if you have to close all of the deals, if you have no superstars automating this aspect for you, even if your business is successful, you're going to be a slave to your business still. You're going to have to deal with all of these lower leverage tasks, and you're not going to be at the point where you can scale this business to the point where you can stack tons of cash because you're the person who has to do this all by yourself, okay? And we're all humans, we all have capabilities. But anyway, here are the biggest problems that I see when it comes to managing businesses, managing representatives, and managing talent. There's no team culture, okay? And by no team culture, what I mean by this is that the team isn't motivated. If you don't have a team that is motivated, if you don't have a team with no culture, you're going to find your representatives are going to churn weekly, monthly, if not daily, okay? You're going to get stuck in that constant loop of hiring and firing new people, bringing in new people, having to train them up, them seeing that there's no team culture, them not being motivated. So you either having to fire them or you having to bring someone in because they've left. Team culture is a main aspect of running a successful business. If you're able to build a team with such a strong culture where everyone is aligned, everyone is down for the mission, everyone is down for the business, everyone can see the long-term goals, and they know that the harder they work for this business, the more money that they're going to make. That is how you're going to build a successful business, and that's how you're going to get the most out of your management. Okay, what you've got to understand is that when you're dealing with superstars, you're also dealing with other very intelligent people, right? And other very intelligent people, if they're not motivated, or if they can tell that you're not doing a great job with the management, they're not going to be motivated to want to work for you. They're not going to see the real long term benefit in wanting to work for you. And they're just going to sort of churn. They're either going to churn, or you're going to have to fire them because they're not doing a good job, right? So team culture is a very important aspect of running a successful business and managing a successful business. You need to have the correct systems, the correct management in place so that your team are set, you know what I mean? And this goes a lot deeper than just speaking to them, okay? You need systems in place. You need to ingrain a culture of working hard and do this through your team calls, okay? Do this through the sort of resources that you send to them. You just need to make sure that they're motivated, they're ready to go to war for your business. As I promise you, this is what's going to boost your business to making over 20K per month. No adequate training resources. If the reps have no idea on how to perform their job to their higher standard, then they're not going to perform their job to their higher standard, okay? And this is where training resources come in. And by this, I'm not just talking about scripting by, supplying them a script. I'm just talking about showing your representatives how it's done. Like, if you're not able to really go into, say, if you're working with setters or working with SDRs, if you're not able to hit the dials, show them how calling leads are supposed to be done, if you're not able to start closing deals and send them recordings of how it's supposed to be done, if you're not able to show them how to DM set effectively, that means that there's no adequate training resources into your business, and they have no idea on how to perform their job to their highest standard. If they can see their manager, if they can see their business owner, or if they can see someone who's in charge of management performing their job to the highest standard, they're going to know that, okay, it's possible. They're going to be able to learn from you, shadow you, and see, oh, okay, this is really possible. And you're going to be able to get the most out of them. They're going to be able to get the most out of their role, okay? And there's a number of ways you can do this. First, you can shadow them while they're doing this. So you can literally like have live role play calls where you role play with them appointment setting, or you role play closing, you role play SDRing. And you can also role play their DMs live. You can role play them calling live, okay? You can watch their sales recordings and see where they went wrong. Make sure you touch base on them on exactly what they went wrong, and then review moving forward if they've been able to solve this. What I do with one of my teams is I make sure that every week they send screenshots of their chats. The SDRs, we use GHL, so I make sure that they send people who they want me to listen to their recordings, and I go over and listen to them and see what they went wrong, how they need to fix this, what they did well, and this improves their performance massively. We have group calls, like bi-daily group calls with the team, where we'll go through their DMs and I'll say, okay, you did this well, you should have done this wrong. No, sorry, you did this well, you done this wrong, you should have done this instead of this. And it just ultimately boosts their morale, because when they're getting constant feedback on, oh, okay, you should have done this, or you done this well, I'm very proud of this, but this is how you could have done to make it even better, they're going to be so much more proactive, and they're going to see so much more better results than if they were to just kind of half-ass it and go about their day without really knowing what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to complete their job to the highest standard. Make sure that they've got the adequate training resources. If they request anything like a script, write up a script for them. If they request recordings, or if they request structure, whatever they request, if it's possible, if it's capable, if it's in your requirement as a manager to do for them, make sure you do it for them, okay? All of my setters, I've got documents full of exactly the sort of conversational flow they should take, handling objections, how to trigger, how to, book calls efficiently, how to really probe, how to make sure that they get the most out of whatever they're doing, whether it's setting, whether it's closing, whatever, okay? We've got scripts to do with objection handling. We've got scripts to do with, in the DMs, how to maximize the efficiency to make sure that you're booking the most amount of calls. And this just makes their life so much easier, okay? So make sure that you actually have adequate training resources. Thirdly, There's no standard operating procedures. The team kind of does whatever they want, and there's no guidance on what's expected of them. One thing I do, and one thing that I'm urging you to do as a business owner right now, is create SOPs into your business, okay? Standard operating procedures are things that your business, your representatives have to do on a daily basis, or if not, they're kicked out. SOPs and your team following SOPs needs to be ingrained into them. It needs to be almost drilled into them to the point where, listen, no matter what you do, follow SOPs. Okay, we've got SOPs. Everyone in the business has SOPs, from the setters to the SDRs to the closers. Okay, they have to do things like daily reports at the end of every day. They have to fill in their CRM at the end of every day. They have to join the group calls at the end of every day. And these are things that we don't just sign them in and just fling these things up onto them. They expressly agree that they're going to follow these SOPs when they join the business, when we hire them, because this is how you run a business effectively. Every business, every successful business has structure, okay? They have SOPs which even the management follows. I've got SOPs that I make sure I've put on myself to follow so that I can continuously hold myself accountable. Okay. If I'm not hitting my SOPs, if I'm not hitting my KPI, then how can I expect other people to hit them if I'm not doing the same? Okay. I am supposed to be leading by example, which I just said in here. You need to lead by example. I'm supposed to be leading by example. And by me following my SOPs, by me doing what I'm supposed to do every day, I can make sure I motivate my team to do the same. So make sure that there's standard operating procedures, okay? Finally, another big problem I see is minimal communication. The team has no touch points with management, meaning that no one is actually ensuring that they're doing the right things, okay? What I do with all of my teams, all of the sales teams that I implement for businesses, is I make sure that there's touch points daily, weekly, monthly. Like, I speak to my team daily. I make sure they're doing the right thing. I sort of ask what they're struggling with. We go through their DMs. I make sure that they send DMs into the chat every day. And I make sure that they're doing the right thing. With my SDRs, I make sure that they send their recordings, or they send the people who they want me to review. And I just go over these and ensure that, okay, are they doing the right thing? What do I need to fix? What do I need to make better on my end? And I make sure that the business is running smoothly. Okay, so make sure that you've got communication with your points, communication points with your team weekly, every day if you can. Okay, if it's possible, talk to your team every day, as this is really how you get the most out of them. Okay, you're going to get the most out of your team by speaking to them daily, making sure that they're doing the right thing daily, rather than having to only speak to them once a week, once a month, and expecting them to go off on a whim and do the right thing. This is another way you ingrain team culture, because if they see that their business owner, their manager cares about them, their sales manager, whatever, if they can see that they care about them, they're going to be inclined to work hard, because if you're working hard for them, they're going to work hard for you. Okay, it's a value exchange. We need to make sure that you're putting the most into them so that they can make the most money, so that you, as a business owner, your team can make the most money and you can stack the most amount of revenue. How can we go about fixing these issues? Okay, I've walked you through the issues about how team culture, there's no team culture in a lot of businesses, no adequate training resources, no SOPs, minimal communication. I've gone through all of this, but how can we actually go about fixing these issues? Culture needs to be rooted in everything that your representatives do. No matter what, okay, you need to ingrain into them every day, every single day, that this is the culture, this is what the business stands for, this is what we're not going to tolerate, this is what we're going to tolerate, as this kind of conditions them, okay? This trains them into knowing what they need to do and subconsciously working hard for your business. I build a warrior culture into all of the businesses in which I implement sales teams for. I implement a no nonsense culture. Like, listen, we're going to come in every day, we're going to violate KPIs, we're going to violate SOPs, and we're going to do our job, okay? We're going to make sure we go the extra mile for the team to make money, to stack the most cash, and to make sure that you turn into a superstar. This is how you deal with superstars at the end of the day, okay? There needs to be culture. They need to see the business as being worth their while, being worth their hard work, and that's ultimately going to translate in the work that they do for you, okay? So make sure that culture is deep rooted into every single thing you do. Resources tailored to their roles, okay? No matter if it's a setter, if it's a closer, if it's an SDR, you need resources, you need training mechanisms, you need things tailored to specifically what they're doing and make sure that they can get the most out of this, okay? One of my SDRs the other day, we found out that, okay, a lot of these leads are being hostile. I drafted up a quick script of how exactly he's going to get the most out of his calls. He went away, booked tons of calls moving forward from there. This was all thanks to the correct resources tailored to his role being made for him. Anything he needs, anything he asks for, I'm going to give it to him, okay? I'm going to make sure on these daily touch points, on these weekly calls, I ask him what's going on. I ask him what he needs help with. I instill to him that his job is very important, right? Because as a manager, you have to rely a lot on what the business sees, on what the representatives see, okay? They're the ones in the trenches every day. They're the ones in the field showing you everything and experiencing everything. So you need to talk to them consistently and let them know that, listen, bro, your job is super important because I'm not able to, be on all of these sales calls. I'm not able to be in all of these DMs, listen to all of these conversations to see if what you're doing is correct, right? So your job is very important because you need to relay to me everything I need to know so that I can make your job easier. So make sure that you've got resources tailored to their roles, multiple touch points, etc. Okay, I've gone over this. Finally, clear SOPs, clear standard operating procedures, okay? If you need help with this, DM me. I can definitely help you with this because I know that this is something a lot of businesses don't exactly know how to implement these into their business to make sure that they're getting the most out of their representatives. And it's a very key aspect to actually getting the most sales and just getting the most out of your team. Making sure that you've got clear SOPs, you manage the SOPs properly, okay? There's not a lot of friction. Everything is laid out specifically to what your business needs to hear. Frictionless. Oh, give me a second. These SOPs need to be seamless. Seamless SOPs. Having seamless SOPs into your business, into your sales representatives, even to your clients, making sure that they've got SOPs, they know exactly what their standards are, just mitigates tons of headaches. If when you hire them, you let them know, like, listen, this is what's going to be accepted, this is what's required of you. There's no excuse on what they need to do because they know this has already been clarified. Okay, so making sure you've got clear, seamless SOPs is going to make your business a lot easier, and it's going to make sure that you get the management dialed in. And finally, having communication with management multiple times a week. I have bi-daily team calls with the team. I'm always chatting to them in the DMs. I'm always keeping them up to date. I'm always letting them know how the business is doing, showing them the success of their business, showing them what the capability of this business is, how we can reach, massive heights. And I'm making sure that I show them that, okay, this is what we expect. This is the ability that the business can reach, right? We just need you guys to make sure that you're firing on point. Making sure you're communicating with them daily, talking about daily, messaging them like, how's it going, bro? How you finding it? What you struggling with? What can I do to help you? Just shows them that you care about them, like I said, right? You're dealing with humans at the end of the day. If they can sense that you care about them, they're going to work very, 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 very hard for you, okay? So make sure that you're having communication with management multiple times a week. And finally, all of this put together is how we can earn 20K in 5 days and build a 6-figure business, okay? These are some of the screenshots for what we did in literally 5 days for my business with all of these put in place: the communication, clear SOPs, resources, culture rooted into everything they do, okay? This is exactly how we were able to make 20K in 5 days for one of my clients, 8K in a day, and this is how we just stack cash, okay? This is how we make sure we get paid, and this is how we just absolutely crush it. So with these results, if you can see that these results are possible from everything I've just shown you, making sure that these things are on point, making sure that these issues are on point, team culture, SOPs, communication is there. This is how you get your sales team. This is how you manage your sales team to perfection and make sure that they're absolutely crushing it. Make sure that they're doing a good job, okay? And that's how you unlock more sales for your business. if you need help with this, if you're a business owner and you're currently in a stage where, okay, you've got a good offer, you're making money, but you know that, okay, first of all, this is draining a lot of your time having to manage these things, having to worry about things like lead generation, managing your sales team, hiring, firing people. I know all of it is a ball ache. If this is sort of a situation you're in and you want to see results like this, literally DM me, okay? DM me or book in a free strategy session tomorrow. Not tomorrow, book in a free strategy session in the bio of this video. I've got my calendar link there, and we can just talk and see exactly if we can help you, if this is something I can actually implement into your business to make sure we see success. And we can move forward and make sure we do a great job. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys are gonna crush it, honestly. Implement those 4 things, and I promise you will see weeks, months like this. Take care, and I'll catch you guys soon.